one of the elite prospects in the class of 2026, combo guard Brandon McCoy, who has been top 10 in this class since the class has released, has been in some circles revered as possibly the number one prospect in this class. He's currently number two behind Tyron Stokes. He was for a long, long time seemed to be a Duke Blue Devils lean. But it seems that Duke has prioritized other guards in the class, possibly making it a bit more open than others might have thought. Some schools are announced, or some schools of monitor for Brandon McCoy are Alabama, Arkansas, Kansas, Michigan, NC State, and USC. Also, throw this in there. Brandon McCoy recently transferred to Sierra Canyon, so he will be playing at Sierra Canyon this year. Famously, school of Bronny James, Amari Bailey, Zaire Williams, Zaire Wade, all those guys. I think he'll be actually be playing with Maximo Adams too, I believe, who I think is on Sierra Canyon. But um, Brandon McCoy seemingly having kind of a little bit of an open recruitment at this point. I mean, Joe Tipton even said himself, "There's no favorites currently," and this one's wide open, and it might be a while before a decision is made. So, Dion, I'll throw it to you. Your thoughts on Brandon McCoy? Obviously, Michigan's in there, NC State, some other schools that we talk about on the channel a lot. USC, my dog Muss is in there, and also maybe comments on him transferring to Sierra Canyon.
Yeah, I mean, the Sierra Canyon transfer, I'm like, oh, I don't know. It's confusing to me. I mean, I know I'm really far removed from like the high school like basketball scene, but like the difference in St. John Bosco and Sierra Canyon doesn't feel large to me.
Mm.
Um, like it doesn't feel like a crazy big difference to where like why would you do it? Maybe there's a reason he did it. Maybe he's not going alone. Maybe it's a coaching thing. Like who knows? I don't want to insinuate anything on Brandon McCoy's behalf. Maybe he just feels like it's a better fit. I don't know. But St. John Bosco, like to me, is one of the most revered schools in California. Not that Sierra Canyon isn't. I just think we're talking about two of the best schools in California. Um, I mean, in terms of his game, I think Tyron's the best player. I think McCoy's the second best. I still think it's a Duke lean personally. Um, I've always felt that way because Duke just feels too quiet on the recruiting scene, and like Shire's getting somebody. That's always been my thought process. Like Shire's getting somebody, so he has to know something.
Yeah, well, apparently, I guess I mean this is all just kind of chatter out there that they instead like Duke is basically choosing Jordan Smith Jr. or prioritizing Jordan Smith Jr. over Brandon McCoy. Is kind of what's happening here. So, with Jordan Smith Jr., obviously an elite guard prospect as well in his own right. Maybe I mean, I think those two, I think you can get both if you're Duke, but obviously it seems like they are just prioritizing Jordan Smith Jr. a little bit. I do got to ask you, since Greg's not here, you're the resident Michigan fan, you're the Dusty guy on this podcast. Do you think Michigan's a serious threat?
I think Michigan is a serious threat for anybody they want to be a serious threat for at the moment. Like I think you're seeing that with football. I think you're seeing that with the transfer portal. Like if Larry Ellison or if Dusty May, excuse me, goes to Larry Ellison and says, "I want him," and Dusty tells Larry Ellison, "I need this amount of money to have him," Dusty May can pretty much have that person. So I think it pretty much comes down to Dusty in terms of like what he wants. Obviously, there is some form of cap in terms of how much money Michigan's going to spend. How much of that does Dusty want to spend on Brandon McCoy? I don't know the answer to that, but I'll tell you this. If Dusty is seriously wanting Brandon McCoy, then yeah, they're a very serious threat.
Yeah, they're semi-serious. I'll let you know right now, once again, another chance for Carter's crystal ball to come into play here. Brandon McCoy, I think, wants to stay in the state of California. I think he chooses USC, and I think he forms a backcourt with him and Elijah Arenas, who will be coming back obviously from injury. And I think I'm not sure if Elijah Arenas is coming back this season. I know it's like 6 to 8 months, I think, for a meniscus or something.
I don't think Elijah is at USC next year.
You think he's leaving no matter what?
You think it's going to hurt his draft stock that much?
No, probably not. But in my crystal
I,
ball world, that's wrong. It's him and Brandon McCoy at USC next year. Fight
I'm
on.
I mean, McCoy, Arenas, Taj Ariza at USC is very, very fun.
Yeah, that'll get Muss back. Year three Muss, some are saying. But be interesting to see kind of how it plays out. Like I said, according to Tipton, this is one that's it's gonna be dragged out a little bit. Dragged out, not a decision really kind of imminent. So we'll be sure to follow that on here on the channel. And also we'll be following Sierra Canyon basketball this year. Maybe my dog Maximo Adams can say, you know what I'm saying, you should come to Michigan State with it. If we get Maximo Adams, that is. But shout out to Brandon McCoy.
Listen, there's too many pickleball courts that need to be built for them to afford Brandon McCoy.
I could have done without that comment. Thank you.